Welcome back to the Chef Joseph's Kick Sauce for Entrepreneurs channel. The Chef Joseph's Kick Sauce for Entrepreneurs channel, which on this channel we discuss about entrepreneurship, different things like that. And I talk about a lot of the struggles that I went through in order to gain, the leverage that I needed so I can basically get to the top, you know. And today is Sunday. It's actually a beautiful day today. It's not nearly as hot at the beach as it was. It's like 100 plus degrees, and now it's kind of like in the 80s, and the wind is blowing. I mean, it's feels really good out here, you know. But yeah, I hadn't did any like video lives or anything because one, I've been writing. Like I told y'all, I was writing the book, and I don't remember where my last video, how long, how much I told you I put in, but I can tell you that now I'm only like 3 chapters away. I've been working really hard at that, and I'm over 61,000 words in. You know, very proud of myself. Very proud of myself, really. To those of you who write, who are writers, or even if you're desiring to write, writing is a great experience. This is not the subject for today, by the way. But writing is a great experience. It's a very good experience because, one, when you're writing a book, especially when you're writing a book, because you will go through a lot of emotions. You're having to dig back memories of things that you went through, especially if it's nonfiction, things that you went through, and you're bringing all this stuff back up from years and years ago. And what you will come to understand is that, it can be it can be challenging mentally because like you haven't thought about certain things 10, 15, 20 years ago, but now with your experiences is basically allowing you have to bring these things back up, and then you start writing them down, and yes, it could bring a series of emotions with it, which is not a bad thing. I think at the end of the day we should all have a sense and being connected to ourselves, emotionally. Again, for those who think men are not emotional, not true. You know what I'm saying? Men, it's good to be emotional. I always say that men, we do cry, we go through things, and we experience things in different ways, just like our sisters do. The sisters go through things emotionally. You know what I'm saying? And then they have the ways that they deal with it. Well, so do us men. You know, and for me, being the only child, I basically, I tell them quick. I know what it's like to play in the sandbox by myself. I'm good. And one thing it has taught me is that it's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to be alone. That doesn't mean that you don't desire like contact from a woman or anything like that. It just means that when you learn to live and learn to love yourself, and you are comfortable with being in solitude to deal with you. Speaking of that, that's in the chapter called the Dark Night of the Soul, and it talks about one of my experiences that I went through. But anyway, yeah, basically to get to the other side of this spiritual freedom. But anyway, it's a beautiful day here. I just wanted to kind of just drop in and kind of talk to you about one of the things that I think that you should be aware of. As the world is transitioning, things are pivoting. It has pivoted. There's a lot going on in the country, as you see. It, you know, Sometimes in life you have to let some things go. Sometimes in life you have to let some things go. And a lot of times it's not going to be an easy experience. You know what I'm saying? Because especially if you've been used to holding on to something for a while, then here you are faced with a whole new decision, that you're going to be making with or without someone by your side, with or without that job that you thought that you had, with or without, like, you're just basically doing a free fall, but the good thing about the Most High in the universe is always going to be by your side, what I'm saying, if you acknowledge it and respect its spiritual principles that go along with that as well. But yeah, sometimes you have to let some things go. I would strongly encourage anyone in this season to start looking, really pay attention to what's around you. That is one of the key things I would like to say today, is that pay attention to what's around you, and pay attention to how your spirit, feels in various situations. You know what I'm saying? That's very important, because you want to be in alignment. So let's talk about jobs, etc. Some people are walking around quitting jobs and stuff like that. Well, this ain't for me. You know, I get it. There's a lot of jobs that may not be for you, but the bills never stop coming in. The bills do not stop. See what I'm saying? Life does not stop. So sometimes you have to do what you have to do to get to where you need to be. So if I were you, honestly, I would just definitely not quit any jobs at all. You want to hold on to what to what you have. You know, you definitely want to have a source of income. You want to keep your source of income for as long as you can. Keep your source of income. But this is not the season to quit a job. It's just not. You want to keep your money flowing at all times. Because you don't want to have to, you know, quit a job and then try to find another one. Quit a job and try to find another one. And yeah, because it's like, man, that's a lot of time that's being wasted. When I looked at the employee roster, like all the people that I know, when I looked at the employee roster of how many people that I have encountered, that have either worked or whatever. I'm not, for the sake of being on the channel, I won't, get deep into all that. But I would just say I've encountered quite a few people. And I'm like, all these people? And unfortunately, a lot of them had problems. Whether it's just running from things, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's the court systems and stuff like that, they work, get a check, quit. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, man, who wants to live a life like that? Who wants to live a life of just quitting? I'm a total proponent of facing whatever you have to face head on. That's the only, I mean, that's real. Y'all hear that? These loud mufflers on these cars be tripping, man. Right when you're doing a video, ain't that something? Yeah, really. But I'm a proponent of facing things head on. If you continue to run away from things, nothing will get accomplished. If you continue to duck and dodge situations, you're not gonna, come on, you're not gonna be, it's just not cool. You need to face the truth in your life, walk right into the situations that you're in, to face them. That makes you a stronger person. I don't run from anything in my life whatsoever. I've learned to face things head on. It is what it is. And like the preacher said, you're going to cut the wood and let the chips fall where they may. And that's right. And sometimes in life, that's what has to happen. You have to cut the wood and let the chips fall where they may. That's it. And with your change of letting things go, just don't expect everyone to agree with you. Don't expect everyone to pat you on the back. It takes a strong person to challenge the narratives and things that's been given to them and to say, you know what, y'all going left, I'm going to go right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going left, I'm going to go right. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been called to go into a different direction. And it's totally okay. It is totally okay with that. You know what I'm saying? And just know, the scripture talks about the wide road and the narrow road. There's a lot of people who are on the wide road who thinks that's the correct way. They think that wide road leads to life and all that kind of stuff, but it's the narrow road that you must follow. You can't worry about what people think. Doing what I do, trust and believe, I get looks from my own people, straight up. And it's like, I'm a phenomenal person. I'm a no-nonsense person. You know what I'm saying? I don't do a bunch of games and kiki ha ha ha, and all that kind of stuff. I'm about purpose. Every day, every minute I wake up, it's about purpose. So a lot of times, and I tell you the same thing, is like get on your purpose. And just know when you do get on your purpose, just know you're going to have people just in general who are just not going to like you because you are on purpose. Every move you make is on purpose. See what I'm saying? And so people who are not on that purpose, sometimes, yeah, that jealousy can set in. That, people get mad and upset because you're doing what you're supposed to do. Stop it. Stop it. Stop that. That's not cool. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got 24 hours in a day to do what they need to do. And if a person chooses to use their 24 hours a day, in a day to better themselves, how dare you get upset when all you gotta do is pick yourself up and do the same thing? You know what I'm saying? So definitely just know that in the season that we in is that sometimes you have to walk away from things. I'm in a situation now as we speak where I had to make a decision to walk away from something. And with someone. Not relationship, it's more family oriented. But yeah, a whole lot of things happened that stung. And I was like, you know what? I have done and tried my best for a very long time, for years. And I decided to remove myself forever. Right. Though I will be there in spirit and I will see my family member on the other side of life. But sometime in life, you have to make decisions, some hard decisions. And you can't worry about what anyone thinks about your decisions. These are your decisions. Your decisions. You're entitled to have a decision. You know what I'm saying? And so, but if you walk away, trust and believe, not everybody's going to like it. But you have to do it to save your peace. You have to do it to protect your peace, to protect your mental health, to protect you emotionally, spiritually. You have to do these things. And that's a decision that I had chose to do. Am I glad I done it? Yes. Did I want to do it? Absolutely not. Because those who may know the situation, yeah, anyway, it don't matter what they think, but it was still like I had to do what I had to do. And as a grown man, I make my own decisions. I write my own checks, and I'm more than capable of enough. I'm more than capable enough to know when things are hurting me. And if things hurt me, then no, I'm not supposed to stay in it. And just like if things are hurting you, you need to get out of these things, especially relationships. I'm reminded of a situation that there's a situation where, like, as a man, I sounded the alarm. I sounded the alarm as a man. And I had been sounding it for a long time. And it got to the place where it just seems like it fell on deaf ears, in various situations. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. So the whole sky can fall and Jesus can moonwalk across the ocean. I don't care. I'm done. For real. And sometimes you have to be done as well. We only have one life to live, you know what I'm saying? At least on this earth plane. Then we move on and transcend. But while we're here, I definitely want to encourage you to be on your purpose, to get on your game. And more than that, sometimes you have to walk away from situations that are not healthy, and if you do, don't feel bad. My thing is, go to the person or go to the people to talk about these things. And if you're not received, then shake the dust off your feet and keep moving. You know what I'm saying? You got to move on. Everybody has their own individual course that they need to chart. Some people find it. Some people might have to repeat the life cycle. Just what it is until they get it. But overall, I'm in a good place, growing every day. wishing well and the best on situations. There was a situation this morning that over the weekend I had been processing some things, and it was a situation I actually sent a text message out, because at the end of the day, life moves on, and you should always wish people well. I personally don't pray for my enemies, and I don't wish my enemies well at all. They need to feel the fire straight up. But for the very most part, you have good people around you. You may have good people around you, and they made choices because they had to make choices. And sometimes those choices may exclude certain people. But guess what? That's their choice. They had to make that choice. And you have to respect that. They had to make their choice. They had to make their choice. It's okay, because you make your choice every day. They make their choice every day. And just because they make their choice, don't be mad at people for making their choices, because that's their God-given right. You know what I'm saying? But you, as a mature person, should learn to respect that choice. Just respect it. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? The blessings will come to you for not being retaliatory, not retaliating in the situation, not having any retaliatory behavior. You can wish them well. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, right? If you don't like this particular situation that you're in, work-related, you don't have to stay. You can go. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. If this is not the place for you, it's okay. That's what I'm saying. That's why I know, I've grown a whole lot, because I tell them, if it's not for you, you can walk away. But one thing, we're always family here. See what I'm saying? Don't burn the bridge. Communicate. If it's not for you, look, I'm going to do whatever I can to help you springboard and to launch you into that next situation, so you can, fulfill the destiny that the Most High has got for you. I'm not going to be a stumbling block. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, talk to us. Talk to me, and find out what's happening so we can work through this situation. Sometimes people look you in the face, they be like, yeah, I understand. Yep, I get it. Then there are times that others, they just give up the ghost and just done. Just walk out. Not that you've done anything to them. Not don't really walk out. It's more so just not returning and all this kind of stuff. But I will say, wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. There you will be. See what I'm saying? So you can't continue to run from situations. You have to face things head on. Because one day, you ain't going to have nowhere to run to. So, and then you have nowhere to go. Then what? So anyway, this video is titled basically that sometimes you have to walk away from things. Sometimes you have to let things go. And sometimes you have to walk away. And it can be a painful experience. But just know that it's your life. And if you do and have made decisions and under the right intention, that means you've looked at the situation all the way and you know that you're doing this for the right intention, regardless of who likes it, who doesn't like it. You have that choice. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely would tell you that you have to preserve yourself. Self-preservation definitely is rule number one. And I don't believe in stepping on others to get to where you need to be. You need to make your own decisions, and make sure you're using good spiritual principles to back it up. You know what I'm saying? And it'll take you a long way in life. And also, don't burn bridges. So once you decide to walk away from situations, if you can talk through these situations, sure, that's a good thing. If you can talk through them, that's great. Talk through your situations, and then make a decision. You can walk away. I think it's, I'm gonna get to the scriptures and all that, but basically you can go to the left side, that person can go to the right side. See what I'm saying? And you don't have to burn the bridge. You can still be at peace. And that, I'm gonna leave y'all with this, right? I'm gonna leave y'all with this one right here. Check this out. Give you something to think about. If you meet someone and let's just say something doesn't work out. I'm not talking relationships or even relationships. I'm just talking about whether it's a job or whatever. You don't have to walk and quit on bad terms. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you go to that person and talk things out? Talk it out. Don't run. Because you know why? What I've come to learn is you don't know if you got to come across that bridge ever again. You don't know that. See what I'm saying? You don't know if you got to come back across that bridge. See what I'm saying? And you don't want to burn that bridge. Here you got two good people that, you know, that have a chance to talk these things out, you know, before someone makes a major decision to quit or walk away. But you never know what the future holds. The future may have you come back full circle to come back to that person. Well, what if you done burned the bridge? Then what? If you done burned that bridge, there's no coming back from that. See what I'm saying? So don't burn your bridges. Seriously, I mean that. Always keep a positive line of communication open. State how you feel. It's okay. God gave you a voice for a reason, and you to use it. You know. So anyway, I'm gonna leave y'all on that one. Definitely. Sometimes you have to walk away from some things in life, and you can't worry about what other people say. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's today's video for you. Hoping it has stimulated some mental thought. And thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. And also, yeah, for real, I'm like I said, I'm in the restaurant industry, straight up. And go to the shorts and you check out some of the plates that we put out. Thank you, and y'all have a fantastic day. And remember, sometimes you have to walk away from some things to preserve yourself. All right, peace.